Have you ever stopped to think, not just dream, about what your next trip might cost you? And I don't mean money. After 70, life feels more precious. Every step we take, every plan we make, it all carries a different weight. Yet many seniors still rush into travel without realizing the invisible risks waiting behind every flight ticket and tour brochure. They assume their love for exploration can carry them through. But the truth is, your body, your mind, your energy, they've changed. This isn't about fear, it's about clarity. Elderly reflections remind us, a trip at 75 is not the same as it was at 55. In fact, it could quietly be the most dangerous decision you make this year, unless you know what to expect. So before you pack your bags, listen closely, because the information you're about to hear might just save your life. If you value content that helps protect your independence, your health, and your peace of mind, please like and subscribe. We're here to bring you life lessons from the elderly, grounded in science and told with heart. Let's begin. Danger was a health emergency that hit without warning. Meet Charles, 75, a retired high school principal from Ohio. He and his wife had always dreamed of cruising through the Mediterranean. It was supposed to be relaxing, minimal movement, gorgeous views, good food. But on day 4 of the cruise, Charles collapsed with chest pain. The onboard medical team did what they could, but he had to be evacuated by helicopter hours later. His heart attack was real, and while he survived, the emotional scars stayed with him longer than any sunburn or souvenir. Here's what most seniors don't realize. When you're traveling, especially abroad, you're away from your regular care system. That means no familiar doctors, no medical history on file, no fast track to the treatments your life might depend on. After 70, our bodies become more unpredictable. Chronic conditions like high blood pressure, heart disease, and respiratory problems don't take vacation breaks. Long flights increase your risk of blood clots. High altitudes, they put more strain on aging hearts and lungs. Dehydration, it hits faster and harder. And yet many seniors skip a full medical checkup before leaving. Even more dangerously, they assume their health insurance travels with them. It often doesn't. Imagine being in a remote village and needing a hospital urgently, only to find out your insurance won't cover a thing. Thousands of dollars in care, all out of pocket. It's a story too many elderly travelers know, only in hindsight. What to do? Schedule a comprehensive checkup before every trip. Get a letter from your doctor listing your medications, conditions, and emergency steps. Never travel abroad without international travel insurance that includes emergency evacuations and hospital stays. After 70, prevention is no longer optional, survival. Danger to exposure to infections in high-risk environments. Eleanor, a 76-year-old grandmother from Arizona, was always adventurous. She loved trying local dishes, exploring night markets, and meeting new people. But after returning from a tour in Southeast Asia, she found herself hospitalized for 2 weeks with a rare bacterial infection. Her immune system couldn't handle what would have been mild for someone younger. Here's the reality. Airports, planes, hotels, and tourist spots are breeding grounds for bacteria and viruses. The elderly immune system is slower, less responsive, and not as adaptable to unfamiliar strains of illness. Respiratory infections, like pneumonia, flu, and now lingering strains of COVID, are particularly dangerous. Add in long travel times, jet lag, dehydration, and fatigue, and you've got the perfect storm. Let's not forget foodborne illnesses. That beautiful street-side salad, it might have been washed in tap water your gut isn't ready for. Spices, cooking oils, even how meat is handled abroad, all can trigger serious digestive issues in older adults. And what about hygiene and transportation? Think door handles in public restrooms, tray tables on planes, and even rental cars. Surfaces that look clean often aren't. For seniors using walking aids or grabbing handrails, often exposure is even higher. What to do? Carry and use hand sanitizer often. Only drink bottled or filtered water. Avoid raw food in unfamiliar places. Touch vaccines ahead of time. Pack emergency meds, antidiarrheals, antihistamines, antibiotics if prescribed. Because being sick in a foreign country doesn't just ruin your trip, it risks your life. Danger signal tree, travel fatigue that doesn't go away. Richard, 76, thought he'd enjoy his dream trip to Italy. But after a 10-hour flight, jet lag, and back-to-back tours, he spent most of the trip in his hotel room. He couldn't keep up, and once he got home, he needed 3 weeks to fully recover. What we call fatigue after 70 is not like being tired in your 40s. After a certain age, exhaustion hits deeper, and it stays longer. Why? Because sleep quality declines. Your body's ability to bounce back weakens. Long flights and time zone changes disrupt melatonin production. Hotel noise, unfamiliar beds, and irregular meals throw your whole rhythm off. Sleep deprivation affects everything: memory, immune health, even blood pressure. Combine that with the physical strain of carrying luggage, standing in lines, sightseeing, and you've got a cocktail of chronic fatigue that takes weeks to shake. The scary part? When you're tired, you're more prone to illness. Your coordination suffers. You trip easier, your heart rate stays elevated. What should be a vacation can become a full-body crash. What to do? Plan shorter trips or breaks between activities. Always book direct flights or long layovers for rest. Schedule full rest days during and after your trip. Wearing earplugs, sleep masks, your own pillow, whatever improves your rest. Because if you don't plan for rest, your body will force it on you one way or another. Danger, for risk of falling in unfamiliar place. Meet Helen, 79, fit, active, sharp. She walked daily and even practiced yoga. But while visiting Europe, she tripped on an uneven cobblestone street at night. One fall, one broken hip, one surgery, and everything changed. Falling is the #1 cause of injury, death in adults over 70. And when you're away from home, the consequences multiply. Hotels, historic buildings, cruise ships, even tourist buses often have uneven steps, poor lighting, or slippery tiles. Unlike your home, which is adjusted to your mobility needs, these places are wild cards. Even fatigue can make your balance worse. You react slower, your legs feel heavier, and unfamiliar shoes or terrain add more risk. What to do? Choose destinations with clear paths, accessible walkways, and flat surfaces. Use a walking stick or cane, even if you don't usually need one. Wear sturdy, non-slip footwear. Don't push your limits. Stop when you're tired. One fall can turn a vacation into months of recovery, or worse, permanent disability. Major financial risks that can destroy your peace of mind. Many seniors spend decades building their savings, carefully budgeting for retirement. So it's heartbreaking to see how fast that security can unravel, all because of one poorly planned trip. Let me tell you about Gerald, 77, a retired engineer, meticulous with money. He booked a dream getaway to a tropical island through an online agency offering massive discounts. But when he arrived, the hotel didn't exist. It was a scam. By the time he found a replacement, he'd blown double his original budget, and the stress from that moment followed him for months. Seniors are among the most targeted age groups for travel scams. Fake vacation packages, misleading hotel listings, fraudulent taxi services, even dishonest locals taking advantage of tourists who look unsure or unguarded. And the cost of medical emergencies abroad? If you don't have the right insurance, a single hospital stay can drain tens of thousands from your savings. Air evacuations alone can cost more than $50,000, 0 cents. Then there's trip cancellations. Illness, injury, or unexpected family issues can force a change in plans. Airlines, cruise lines, and tour companies rarely refund last-minute changes without trip protection. And without it, you're stuck. Not to do, only through reputable companies. If a deal sounds too good to be true, it is. Use a credit card with fraud protection. Purchase comprehensive travel insurance, including trip cancellation and emergency care. Never travel with large amounts of cash. Keep important cards and IDs in a neck wallet or hidden pouch. Be cautious with public Wi-Fi. Avoid accessing sensitive financial info. Peace of mind is priceless. Don't gamble it away on poor planning or risky deals. Danger, sick spoke losing the joy of travel itself. This one may sound surprising, but it's one of the most important. As we age, the way we experience joy changes. What once thrilled us, adventure, spontaneity, ticking off new countries, can now feel exhausting, even stressful. And yet so many seniors feel pressured to travel, Society glorifies it. Now that you're retired, go see the world, they say. But what if your body's telling you something different? Take Joyce. She's 78 and a world traveler. Over 30 countries visited. But after a trip to Morocco where she felt constantly fatigued, struggled with food, and missed her own bed, she realized something profound. The best part of travel wasn't the destination, it was the peace she expected to feel. But that peace never came. Instead, she returned home, exhausted, bloated, and unsure if the memories were worth the physical and emotional toll. So she made a change. Now Joyce explores local gems. She finds joy in short road trips, museum days, new cafes, a simple picnic by the lake. Her body feels better, her sleep is deeper, and she no longer chases distant stamps and a passport. She chases moments that make her feel alive. This isn't about giving up on life. It's about redefining what living well looks like after 70. Sometimes the hidden danger of travel is the assumption that you need it to feel fulfilled. But many seniors find more meaning, more peace, and more joy by staying connected to their body's needs, not the world's expectations. What to do? Ask yourself, am I planning this trip for me or for the idea of who I used to be? Redefine travel on your terms. Day trips, nature walks, weekend getaways. Make space for peace, not just excitement. Listen to your body, because it will tell you what it needs to thrive. Travel after 70 is not impossible, but it's not the same, and pretending it is, that's what creates danger. Health emergencies, infections, fatigue, falls, financial loss, emotional stress, these are real risks that many seniors underestimate. Not because they don't care, but because no one ever talked to them this way. Today, that changes. Every trip you take should be one your body and mind are ready for. Every journey should protect your independence, your wisdom, your ability to enjoy life fully. Because this stage of life, it's not about proving anything. It's about preserving everything that still matters most. Your peace, your dignity, your time. If you found this video valuable, we invite you to like and subscribe. It helps us bring more senior health, elderly wisdom, and inspiration to those who need it most. And don't forget to leave a comment below. What's one thing about travel you're rethinking after 70? We read every message, and your story might inspire someone else. Danger 7: underestimating your body's new limits. For much of your life, travel was about freedom, moving quickly, doing more, fitting in as many sights and experiences as possible. But after 70, your body speaks a different language, one that whispers and sometimes shouts, "Slow down." Too many seniors ignore this voice. They book trips filled with walking tours, early mornings, multiple flights, busy schedules, believing they can still handle it all like they did at 50. But they forget something crucial: your recovery time has changed. Take the story of Edna. A former teacher, she had always prided herself on her stamina. Her granddaughter invited her on a whirlwind trip through Japan. Beautiful idea, but after the second day, Edna found herself dizzy, sore, and overwhelmed. She spent most of the trip in the hotel, battling fatigue and motion sickness, embarrassed that she couldn't keep up. Back home, she needed a full month of rest. Her doctor later told her, "You didn't get old on this trip, Edna. You just forgot that your body's limits have changed. You're not weak. You're wise enough to listen." And that's the point. After 70, pushing too hard isn't noble. It's dangerous. Your energy isn't endless anymore. And the price of ignoring your body, it could be your safety, your recovery, or even your long-term independence. Not what to do. Accept that doing less is not doing worse. Plan for half-day outings, not full-day adventures. Always allow extra time for rest, hydration, and unplanned delays. Be kind to yourself. You're not failing, you're evolving. Because after 70, one of the greatest acts of strength is honoring your limits. Danger 8: social disconnection and emotional overwhelm. While abroad, no one talks about this. Imagine being in a bustling city, thousands of miles from home. You're surrounded by people, and yet you feel completely alone. The menus are unfamiliar, you can't understand the signs. You try to speak, but the locals don't understand you. The noise is overwhelming, your phone doesn't work properly. This isn't just culture shock, it's emotional isolation. As a senior, emotional overwhelm can hit harder, and disconnection becomes a hidden danger. If you experience confusion, fatigue, or even mild anxiety or panic, it's often magnified in unfamiliar environments. And for those living alone, with limited tech skills or no immediate travel companion, this can quickly spiral into something serious. Missed buses, getting lost, not knowing how to ask for help. These are small risks in youth, but major stressors after 70. Emotional overwhelm affects memory, decision-making, even sleep. Some seniors return from trips feeling more drained than before, saying, "I just wanted to feel alive, but I came back feeling invisible." This is not how travel should feel, and you deserve better. What to do? Travel with a companion, family member, or in a group tailored for seniors. Choose destinations where you speak the language, or there's ample support. Learn a few key phrases if traveling abroad, especially health ones. Bring a physical map, emergency contacts on paper, and a basic phone plan that works abroad. Most importantly, if you feel overwhelmed, pause. You don't have to do everything. Not every step needs to be perfect. Give yourself permission to sit down, breathe, and simply exist. Travel is not a race, it's a window to joy. And after 70, it should feel like a gift, not a threat. Danger, losing sight of what travel should really give you. Let's end with what might be the deepest danger of all, traveling with expectations that no longer serve your life today. Too often we hear this: "I need to travel or I'll waste my retirement. I have to visit Paris, just once, before it's too late. If I'm not exploring, I'm not really living." But these thoughts can become traps. They make you feel guilty if your body can't keep up. They push you to take trips out of fear of missing out instead of desire. They tie your self-worth to miles flown rather than meaning felt. And that's not the elderly wisdom we want to carry forward. The real purpose of travel, especially after 70, is not about proving anything. It's about rediscovering joy in ways that fit your life now. It could be a trip to the coast with your granddaughter, revisiting a nearby town filled with memories, a slow train ride where you watch the world move without rushing to keep up. You don't need to fly 12 hours to find something beautiful. You don't need 5-star hotels to feel alive. You need moments, ones that match your pace, honor your health, and lift your spirit. So ask yourself, what am I really seeking from this journey? If it's peace, wonder, and a renewed sense of connection, then good news. That's still possible, but you may find it closer than you think. Closing message. We've explored the 9 hidden dangers that make traveling after 70 riskier than most people realize. Not because you're fragile, but because you've earned the right to be cautious, to be thoughtful, to protect your time, your health, and your heart. Every point we've discussed comes from real experiences, real people, and real lessons, shared by seniors who want you to live wiser, not just longer. If you're considering travel soon, take this moment to pause, reassess, ask the deeper questions. And if this video helped you reflect, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Your support fuels everything we create. We believe every senior deserves to age with strength, clarity, and dignity. This is your time. Protect it well.